Hello, welcome to episode 5, where I'm joined by the amazing Tommy Cullum. Welcome to the
Hello,
show.
sir. I'm excited to be here, man. Very
I
excited.
know, it's
Thank
been
you
a
very
long
much.
time.
Yes.
Even though we chat quite a lot, it
Yeah.
still feels like forever.
I talk to you more than I talk to most people. Like we talk at least once, twice a week.
Yeah.
I talk to you probably more than I talk to the missus, really. That's true.
Because of my job, because I can be on the phone all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just how
And
it
when,
is.
and when we talk, we talk. Like we can talk for
In depth
an
and
hour's
all
just
that.
gone, 2 hours gone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
In
always cool.
seconds. Yep. But, so, not but, no buts involved. So this is called Stand Up or Go Home because a lot of people don't know this. You used to do stand-up comedy. Did you?
Yes,
Did you?
sir. Yes, sir, I did. And if you look, I don't know if there still is, but there was clips on YouTube where you can
Yeah.
see. I don't know if
Yeah.
they're still about because I never put them out. So someone else.
Right. Okay.
So if they're still
And-
there, they're there. But
Yeah. So if anyone's who's watching is wondering why I'm doing this with a microphone, it's because it snapped off the boom arm, and I haven't got time to find another one and connect it. So there's comedy there straight away.
literally just before we started, it snapped.
It just went. Yeah. So.
Technology, man.
So what? Why stand up? Obviously, because you're a funny guy. But what got you into it? What was your?
I've always loved stand up. I always like watching stand up, and I like laughing. I'm always up for a laugh. Always looking for the comedy and things, even though I'm not going to talk about the paranormal too much. I try and take that sort of seriously.
Yeah.
I won't mention the paranormal. But I went to. So the dream for me when I was a kid was to be an actor. Like, I loved acting. Right. So I used to do acting at school, and then I went to college, and then I went to university to do acting, and really enjoyed it. That was the dream. Like, I wanted to be on EastEnders. That was the goal.
That it?
I aimed high.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Phil Mitchell's son, something like that. But,
illegitimate child.
Yeah. Hello, Dad. But while I was at university, the last year you got to take on another subject, still in the like the performing arts, but it was like acting and acting. It was like comedy was one of them. I can't remember what the other ones were, but comedy. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do comedy. So I took on comedy for the last year of university.
Yeah,
and I had a great comedy teacher, and it was a great class. Every week we would do. You'd write a set for every lesson. And just do it to the classmates, and it was good fun. And I was like, I was quite enjoying it. And everyone was like, "You're good at this, you could do this." And then one of my friends was doing a comedy night in London, and he said, "Would you come and do 5 minutes, like as a newbie?" And I was like, "Yeah." Done that, went really well. Really enjoyed doing it. Done a few other gigs in London and places like that. And then I was like, I'm going to start a comedy night. So me and my friend Joey Arbefa. Who was a great
his
comedy name.
Named him that.
That's not actually his name, but that's his name now.
Yeah.
So he's got white hair. I've got ginger hair.
Yeah.
So our comedy night was called The Future's White, The Future's Orange. That was our comedy night.
Yeah.
And we used to put these nights on in Essex and London, and we really enjoyed doing that. And then eventually I went and he's doing his own comedy nights now. Joey Arbefa Productions. Oh, I forgot the name of his comedy show. I've got to get that right, because if he listens, he'll be fuming. Joey Arbefa Comedy Nights, which is a great night in Billericay.
Yeah.
And then, Joey Arbefa Comedy Nights. I knew that. When you just go blank.
Yeah.
So they're his nights now in Billericay in Essex, and they're great nights. He's carried on doing the comedy. I started doing Viking comedy on my own, which was a comedy night, and then the pandemic hit, shut everything down, and it's sort of the comedy nights that I started doing was about a month before it all kicked off. So it just sort of stopped that for me. It stopped that side for me, and Now I just do the podcasting. But
Yeah.
I would like to do the comedy again one day.
So I was going to say, do you want to get back into it?
I do think I will. At the moment, with the kids being so young,
Yeah.
You're out quite a lot with the comedy. You're always everywhere. So
staying
it's
over and what have you.
difficult. But I still would like to do it one day because I still get that buzz. I
know someone that runs a comedy night. So
cool.
If you're interested, I can have a word with him.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
He's from not from where I'm from. He's from like this part of the UK, but he's now down in Bristol. But he still runs it in different places. So yeah, man, have a word and see how it goes.
I'd love to get back on the comedy wagon.
What was the worst moment of it? Did you down your ass at any point?
Oh, many times.
Sorry.
I know, it's cool.
Sense of humor. I just find that so funny.
Oh man, it's when comedy goes well and you've got the audience in your pocket and everyone's laughing and everyone's having a great time. It is the best feeling in the world. Like you can't, if you could bottle that drug up, oh man, like it's amazing. It's a great feeling. But when it goes wrong and nobody's laughing and everyone's looking like, who is this guy? It's the worst feeling, and it can be either way. It's hit and miss. You know, you never know what you're going to get.
You never know what the night's going to bring.
No. If the audience don't like you, that's it. You got no chance. I didn't experience that too like really bad. Like you normally get laughs, even if it's not going amazing.
Yeah.
But there was this one time, man, and it was quite a weird one because it was a show on ITV, and it was called Show Me the Funny.
Right.
And I applied to be on it. And you had to send in a video of yourself, and then they picked, I think it was the top 70, got invited to London to do a show in front. It was basically a show in front of all the other comedians, and there was cameramen there and stuff. And then it was to get into like the last 10, I think, and that was where the series was. Jason Manford was doing the series.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that show?
I vaguely remember the name, and now you said about Jason Manford.
Yeah.
It's coming back a bit more.
So he was, so it was, you do a set in a different place, like a school, a hospital every week. And obviously they'd kick one out, and that's how it was. But I got to the last 70. So I went up to London and they messaged you about 2 days before, and they're like, can you write a new set that's relevant to today? So you've got 2 days to write a new set, which is difficult anyway.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can do this. I was a little bit cocky, I've got to be honest. I was like, yeah, I can write a set. What's going on in the world? Oh, X Factor. So I'm making jokes about Simon Cowell and easy stuff. But like, I was not prepared, Andy. So so Lois, my wife, she come with me. And I can't remember how long we was together for. This might have been before we had kids. I think it was. So it was in the early sort of stages.
Yeah.
So the stage where you're trying to be cool.
Yeah.
So I brought her along to this comedy night, to this comedy event. It was actually during the day in London.
Yeah.
And she was in there. It was all these other comedians. All the comedians are going on, getting laughs. And the thing with me is I was quite, and I'm quite blue with comedy. Like you'd probably be surprised. I swear a lot. I talk about outrageous thing. Like I can be hit and miss. Like some people don't like that, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah,
that's how I like comedy. I like it just to be, free speech. Say what you want to say out there. So I that's my comedy. So this is very safe comedy. What I was seeing, and I was like, oh man, like this is no one's swearing.
Compared to what you do.
Yeah, which for me is very skillful because it's hard to do comedy without swearing. I think, you know, with like safe comedy is very difficult. If you're good at that, like that's amazing because that's hard, I think. So anyway, I've gone up and I'm saying all this. I'm calling Simon Cowell the names under the sun, and I'm doing my stuff. Nobody's laughing. It was just and I just remember looking around and I'm thinking this is not going well. And I just remember looking at the cameraman, and the cameraman was laughing. So I was like, I could see him like laughing with the camera, and I'm like, that's good. But no one else was laughing. I'm looking down at Lois, my wife now. She wasn't at the time, and I was like, I could just see the look on her face, like just she's thinking everything, and am I with the right guy here? Because This is shocking.
Wow.
And anyway, it went really bad. Didn't get to the next round. There was some people in there that you'd recognise now that were in that audition that went on.
Oh,
I can't
right.
remember her second name, Ellie something, but she's like quite a big comedian now. She does all sorts of TV shows and stuff now. Like, she's done really well from it, and she was like next to me at the audition. So she went on to greatness, and yeah, it was just that was.
Do you
probably
think
my
it
worst
was
experience.
The material that you was doing, or was it the wrong crowd, a bit of everything?
Bit of both, yeah. I think I because it was obviously because it was an ITV show. It was on about 9 o'clock, so it was quite a safe comedy show.
Right.
Like, the guy that won is a great comedian, but he's not going to go on and swear and talk about outrageous things, and good for TV comedy.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't.
So when you was like, so after that audition, after you'd done that set and what have you, when you was going out just on the road doing it with you and your mate, did you get a lot of heckling, or did you not experience that?
Yeah, no, I got heckling.
Did you ever give it back?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, if I couldn't think of something like quick and clever to say, I would just swear at them, which doesn't really help. It's not good.
Yeah, but you got to give something back, though, aren't you? You can't leave it at nothing.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, if you ignore it, you look like you're just sort of bottling it or whatever. But I used to MC quite a lot, so I used to host a night, so I could sort of get away with talking to the audience, having a bit of banter and moving on. I remember there was this one night, and this guy, he kept like constantly, every time I was on, because a part of the MC's job is to like keep the crowd controlled. So you're saying to them during the act, if we don't talk and stuff, and you laugh and enjoy it, obviously, but you're trying to keep it controlled. This guy, right, he just kept standing up, shouting just the most random stuff, and he looked like he had long hair, he had a massive beard, and he looked a little bit like Jesus. And I'm like, I'm getting heckled by Jesus right now. Like he was just constantly. In the end, I think security come and actually had to take him out because he was like, when it's just too much. Yeah. So I experienced a lot of heckling. Yeah, got a lot of abuse.
Do you remember any of the heckles you got? Is there any one that stands out?
There was a great one. So do you remember a show called The Undateables?
Yeah.
Yeah, great show.
Yeah.
So there was a guy.
People around here that have been on it.
Oh, really?
Not me, before anyone says out. Yeah, we was in Tesco the other day, and Guy walked past, and Becky's like, "That's him off on Dateables."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's a few around Northampton area that were on it.
I mean, it's not the best show to be on.
No,
I wouldn't want to be on it, to be honest.
No. I'd rather be single and live in a ditch, but anyway.
Yeah. So there was a guy, I think it was the first series, there was a guy that used to do stand-up comedy. He was a comedian, and he had Tourette's. Right. So he would obviously be talking and then he'd shout this stuff out, which is fine. And it's good for comedy. I think that's good for comedy. But anyway, so we got him on to headline one of the nights because he was from The Undateables. Yeah. So it was like, I can't even remember. I'm terrible with names, but it was like his name from The Undateables. And that was our selling point because he was from The Undateables. Anyway, so I remember he was like near the back of the room, and I've got up and I'm talking, and then I've just heard, I won't say the swear word because really loud, really clear. He said he couldn't help it, but he was like, "Ginger," and I was filling the blank. And I just remember being like, I can't really have a go at you. You're the headliner tonight, and you've got Tourette's, so it's understandable. And I was like, I can't really remember how I responded to it. I think I ignored it, which is probably worse because everyone heard it and everyone's laughing and you know what I mean. So
but you've got another understanding of why it was done.
Yeah, he couldn't help
as opposed to someone just standing up and shouting out.
Oh, if someone else had just, what do you do? But so he said he couldn't help it. But.
I'd use that excuse as well.
Exactly.
Did you ever pick on anyone in the crowd, in the audience?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I used to do
Is that your thing?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go too deep, but I did. There was a lot of times.
How many rows back do you go? Because I've got an unwritten rule. First 3 rows, you go watching live comedy. You don't go in the first 3 rows.
Yeah, you're asking.
Kind of safe. Anything after 4, then as long as you don't move, you're all right.
You're safe. Yeah, no, So it depends what gig it was. Like some gigs, you could literally walk around the audience with the mic.
Yeah.
Some gigs, you're sort of you're on a wire, so you can't move around that much. But so it depends. Sometimes I would literally walk into the audience and just go right to the back and talk to, depending on where you are. So I would catch
my worst nightmare.
A lot of people.
Well, me mate, we went watching Tom Allen a few months back.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
MK Theatre. So we're in the stalls right at the front. So we're on the third row. We're on the right hand side, but the rows come round like that. So the first row where it ends, the second row starts. Where the second row ends, the third. So it's like a continuation of the first row. And me and my mate Matt are like, I knew I could see him thinking, and we got picked on, what we had to say. Not that any of it would have come out, but it was like we was prepped. Put it that way.
He was ready.
Yeah, ready but not ready.
Because it's normally like what your job is, what.
Yeah,
and you go down that route. But yeah.
So when you're on stage and you can see people in the audience, do you already pick them out before you even said anything? As you're doing your act, do you pick certain people out? Yeah,
sometimes. Some people just ask for it. Some people are just there to be picked on. They wear the loudest shirt at the front. They want the abuse. They're ready. So you pick up. You're looking around, and especially when you're in.
Certain people stand out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Especially when you're emceeing, and you look at people. You're like, is he going to hit me if I say that? You're working.
Yeah,
you're trying to work because that can happen, man. I've seen it. I've seen people get up on stage and get aggressive. It does.
Have you had any walk out on you?
No, not that I know of. No, I've not seen. I've had people come up to me at halftime and say, "Man, can you cut the language out?" I've had that.
Really?
I'm like, you're at comedy night, mate.
It's my job. This is what I do.
Yeah, I'm not Mr. Tumble. I'm not here. You know what you're coming for.
You should come back on after the break and go, just to let you know, I'm not Mr. Tumble.
You know what you're signing up for.
Yeah.
Eventually, we had to put on because we'd do the posters and you'd have to say like over 18, obviously over 18.
Explicit content.
Yeah, you're going to get swearing.
All right, here we go. So Paul Smith, Scouts guy. Are you as bad as him when it comes?
He's good. He's very good.
He started off pretty much the same as you. I watched his early stuff. I do watch a lot of his stuff on YouTube. Yeah. I can't remember the name of the comedy channel. And some of the people that he picked and what he says, it's like, how do you get away with it?
Yeah, for sure. Again, though, now he's got his audience. So the people that go to his shows, they know what he's all about.
Yeah.
When you're doing these shows where it's like 5 comedians in a night, the people are just there for a comedy night. Like
they're not a night out.
Yeah, they don't know who they're going to get, and that's when you can get like I've seen. I used to get this guy that he was very what's the word? So like he would come out with some outrageous stuff. Like he was quite near the bone sometimes, near the mark. And I've seen him do this same set many times, like that he was doing, and it was great set, very funny, but very controversial. Like it was very near the mark what he was saying, and I've seen him do this set, and people love it or they hate it. So I've seen 2 different audiences, one absolutely loving it, taking it all in, crying with laughter, and then I've seen another audience. He said exactly the same things, and there's people shouting, "Oi, like, shouldn't be saying that," and seeing the shakes, the head shaking, and
See, I don't understand that. You must do a bit of research for who you're going to go and watch. It's like a few years ago, I think it was just before lockdown. We went watching Jack Whitehall at the Motorsport Stadium in Nottingham. and there's a few different warm-ups on. One of them was Lloyd Griffiths, the guy from Grimsby who used to do Soccer AM. Now, since then, I think we've seen him 3-4 times. Seen him in Sheffield, that comedy night that I said my mate does in Milton Keynes, seen him twice there at this little club. And with that one, it's like, a lot of them do it for the Edinburgh Fringe. It's like trying out new material before they go out and do the main tour.
Yeah.
It's like tickets for £6 to go and watch. And it's like, you only get 50 people in this room. It's like the back house end of a pub. It's all brick wall. And it's like proper, what you'd want is like a little like man cave sort of thing. So we're sat in there and you're more than 10 foot away from whoever's on there. Seeing Sarah Milliken there, seeing guy she's married to, is it Mark Delaney? I think his name. He was on there the same night. Seeing loads of different acts there. But watching Jack Whitehall at the Motorsport, it was good. But then when you go to these smaller, intimate gigs, it's so much better.
Yeah.
Because it involves the audience a lot more.
Yeah.
Rather than it being scripted all the way through. And that's what I prefer, that type of comedy. Not saying I don't like the other, I just prefer the smaller, the more, because it's more fun. And they do pick on people. And
the energy you get. The energy you get in there.
It's so much better.
100%.
I go in, I start crying with laughter. Right? By the end of it, I can't see. Because my eyes are running and that's sore and everything.
Yeah.
It's just... And I think they're the better ones. And that's what I said. With Paul Smith, you must know what you're getting. So this is the other thing. Unless you're busting for the toilet, why would you stand up halfway through? You wouldn't do it.
You're asking for it.
Because you're just going to get ripped to pieces.
I would rather soil myself than just walk out.
Yeah. Right.
Because But some people enjoy that. Some people enjoy getting ripped into, I think they just do it.
Yeah. Oh, it's too... No, I couldn't... Yeah. I'd just fall apart, I think.
Yeah.
So what is it of all the stuff, all the stand-up and that? What is your favourite bit? Is it the prepping? Is it the writing? Is it getting the timing right? Knowing where you're going on location? Mm-hmm. What's the main thing?
The best thing for me with comedy is when you're in the moment. Because for me, like before I go on stage, I'll get really nervous.
Right.
I'll be like pacing, and I've got this real energy, that I can't get rid of, like nervous energy. And then as soon as you go on stage, you're still nervous, obviously, but something happens where you just sort of go into like this. It's like it's sort of like a meditation. Like you go into like this other mode.
Like a bubble. You're on a bubble, like don't you?
Yeah, and you're controlling it. And when you're controlling it, and the crowd is loving it, and you're getting laughs, it's the best feeling. Like you can't beat that. And when you come off, you want to go straight back on. Yeah, like, that feeling is incredible. If you could box that feeling up and sell it, oh man,
be a millionaire. Oh, everyone would want it.
Yeah, 100%.
So do you ever get worried though that when it's going so good that I need to keep this up? Do you ever start overthinking, and then you're like, I don't want it to go the other way? Because I think that's what I'd be like. Yeah,
I guess I just when it's going well and you're just hitting, you can say something sometimes.
It flows then, doesn't it?
Yeah, it flows. And you say something that normally people wouldn't laugh at. But in that moment, when it's all going well and the audience is enjoying it, you're enjoying it, and there's this moment, they'll laugh at anything. Like you can say anything because you've got them.
Yeah.
But when it's going bad, and it's so hard to save that.
Doesn't matter what you say.
They don't want to laugh. They're like, oh, this guy's a loser. I'm not laughing at him. So it's hit and miss. It's so difficult.
Yeah. So can you do it? Can you do any now?
Oh man!
Sorry, I've just put you on the spot.
I probably couldn't, to be honest. I don't tell jokes. Like I'm more of a
observation
storyteller, basically. Yeah.
Right.
So I go on and I'm telling you, like, I'll tell you one of my big sets, which is my favourite set, which is about 10-minute set that I used to use pretty much wherever I went, was about ginger racism.
Right.
So I was talking for 10 minutes about how I think, ginger racism is a thing.
Yeah.
and I'm taking a mick out myself, but I'm it's quite a heavy subject, obviously.
Yeah.
And with the world as it is now, which is probably why I stepped away from comedy as well as the pandemic happening. I didn't like the cancel culture that was going on with comedy. Like, you suddenly couldn't say certain things.
The PC of it all.
The PC side of it, especially in the UK, like, there seems to be a big, and it's coming back now. Like, the people have had enough of that, I think, and you're starting to see comedy come back to how it was.
The
and even
snowflakes
better,
are melting away.
The snowflakes are melting away, because there's only so much of that you can take before you lose everything.
Yeah.
So that was a big reason.
Yeah. See, I know when I do the other podcasts, I'm saying stuff, and then I do have other things that pop up in my head when I'm reading the chat and all that. And I know, as you know, I like to have a laugh doing the paranormal side. Take it serious, but there are moments it's like, I really would love to say that, but I know I can't. And it's because I know what the reaction will be from not just like YouTube and that, but people that don't get that type of humour.
Yeah.
And for me, it's they're the ones that ruin it. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
100%.
Don't get involved.
Yeah.
Move on. Flip. Go do something else.
Yeah. The thing is, you're never going to keep everyone happy. Someone's always going to get offended with something.
Exactly.
Just because someone says something, it doesn't mean, like, in a comedy sense as well. Like, if someone says a joke about someone,
you're not pinpointing it on that person.
No,
it's just it's a generalization. Like you said, with all the different things going on, you have to take the mickey out of it. Because if you don't, it's too serious, and everyone gets upset over the slightest little thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, grow a pair. That's what I think.
And it was sort of getting to a stage. Yeah, but it was sort of getting to a stage where, especially in the comedy world, like, everything was like, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that, and I was like, no, even if I don't want to say that, I want that freedom to be able to say what I want to say. A bit like with the podcasting.
It should be that. You should have the freedom, because these are platforms. Yeah, it's like now I'm getting paid from YouTube. It's, as you know, it's not a lot, but it's kind of covering costs and that. And I feel like, am I now restricted on what I can and can't say? With me doing this, that Monday face, this is going to be more fun and more expressional, because we're covering so many different topics, whereas the Alien 8 one is like purely paranormal. So this one, I want it to be more freedom, like I said, and that because we're covering so many different things. I'm not bothered about what anyone's going to say in it, as long as you're not pinpointing a person and slagging them off and going, that person's a see you next Tuesday or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's as long as it's a generalization of it, I don't care.
Yeah, 100%.
It's how it should be. 100% truth.
Yeah,
of how you are and how the emotions run when you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, and you should have that freedom.
100%. I mean, you think of the celebrities and the podcasts and stuff that you listen to, that you love.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's times where they say something that you're like, don't agree with that. That doesn't mean you're going to go, right, not listening to them anymore.
Exactly.
Going to give them a dodgy report.
Yeah, but I've got 6 sense of humour, so he says something, I'm like, that's so funny.
Hey, man.
I don't do anything like that again for ages. Like, I'm not going to listen anymore. It goes the other way.
100%.
But I just, my sense of humour is very 12-year-old kid, boy, sort of humour mixed with just, I find the most stupidest thing so funny. Like the memes that I put on Facebook.
I love them memes.
If you've seen.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be showing the message. It's like, I don't know what you're showing me. It's a meme.
They don't get it, man. They don't get it.
And I'm sat there, tears in my eyes. There was one, I'll just tell you quickly, it's on TikTok, right? It wasn't funny for the person. The first time I watched it, I thought, felt a bit sorry for this woman. After about the 100th time of it just constantly on a loop, I'm absolutely crying, right? So there's someone got a stick and trying to hit this pinata. And there's about 5 or 6 different people. And on the screen it says, each time you watch it, one of the comments, each time you watch it, you'll notice a different person and their reaction. The more you watch it, the more stuff you see. So this woman walks out, she must be in the 60s. Whoever's got this proper smacks her over the head.
Yeah.
You actually hear it like,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And I'm like, oh my, but because I have it on loop, I'm like, and I'm crying. And I'm watching the bloke in the background. He drops everything, starts wetting himself. The woman, she turns around so no one can see her laughing.
Yeah.
The husband runs up, and there's all different things going on.
Yeah,
but
I've seen it.
The more I watch it, the funnier I get. And I got to the point where I don't actually care how it hurts. It was too funny.
We've got something in us that laughs at people getting hurt, though, haven't we? We've naturally.
But like I said, at first, I thought that's not funny. That's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
No, like 2 minutes into it, couldn't breathe.
She's probably all right. She might have had concussion.
Yeah. Probably not even. I've had worse. The thing is, I've had worse than that, so I'm allowed to laugh at it. If nothing like that had ever happened to me, then fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't get the right to laugh. But
yeah,
when I've had worse injuries, then tough. Deal with it.
Well, what's the show we used to watch? Jeremy Beadle, You've Been Framed, and all that. It was all people getting hurt. You know, it's funny. It's funny to see people.
Well, it's like,
was it all right? You know, after.
Well, laugh first, and
we'll laugh, and then we'll find out. We'll find out if they're all right after. Oh, they did. Oh, that's bad. They didn't make it.
When Ariel used to do it, that was You've Been Framed, wasn't it?
Yeah,
he was laughing at me all the time.
Yeah,
but there's so much funny stuff out there, you can't not laugh because excuse me, like I said earlier, if you take everything too serious, it becomes boring. Everything becomes boring.
Yeah,
and that honestly is my worst nightmare. I would die of boredom. It won't be funny either.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous.
You got to have fun, man. You got
to enjoy laughing and the most stupidest things.
Yeah, I'm the same, man. I'll be sitting there crying, you know, over something ridiculous. As you say, 12-year-old humour. Yeah, that's me as well.
Do you know what? I'm just gonna get one. There's got to be something on here now.
You got the lady with the pinata.
Yeah.
Poor lady. I hope she's okay.
Yeah, there's one. I copied this one the other day. The average adult spends $255 per year on their hobbies, and it's got that monkey doing that. Like, what? A year? This one double that a month. And it's not even hobbies, it's just, you know what I mean? And it's just the most stupid, ridiculous things that are on there.
When you see a meme and it hits with something that you do, or, you know, like, it hits even harder then. And you're like, yes, that's so true.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I'm going to show you this one. I'm going to pull this up at the screen because it is literally what we've just been saying. It's like, is everything a joke to you? Me. And then you're doing that for the last face. But that's what it is. That's what it is, and that's how it is, and that's how it should be.
Yeah, 100%.
Obviously, you got to take normal stuff, like everyday life stuff, serious. But if it's funny, and it doesn't matter. Yeah.
And if you find it funny, great. If someone else doesn't find it funny, that's fine as well.
But you don't like I'm scrolling through all these different memes now. Some are funny, some are not. I'm not going, that didn't make me laugh. I'm going to complain to the non-funny memes board.
I found that offensive. I'm going to report it. No,
just scroll past, keep going.
Someone found that funny. Yeah, and that's what's important.
Yeah, and it's usually the person that put it on the screen.
Yeah.
But that's what it is.
but I do feel like there's a fight back on that, especially with.
There needs to be, I think.
Yeah, especially with like American comedy, especially, which I'm watching a lot of.
Yeah,
there seems to be. Like, did you watch the Tom Brady roast on Netflix?
No, not
Man,
yet.
that is so good. Even if you don't like NFL, and that
Yeah.
is so good, because that for me was watching that. It was like, we're back, baby. Like, comedy's back. The real. It was amazing.
Because it's like Saturday nights, Friday and Saturday nights TV. It was too. I won't even say it was like child based. It was just crap and boring. Our kids won't even find it funny.
Yeah.
But whereas now it's like you've got 8 out of 10 cats, Mock the Week and all that. Them right. Sort.
Jimmy Carr.
I like QI.
Yeah.
Even though it's not funny, it's still
that's good. It's clever stuff as well. You're learning as well. Yeah.
Yeah. But you've got all them. So something does need to give.
Yeah. Well, I think with the PC stuff, like the cancel culture, a lot of people stop watching stuff, and they want people watching. So, you know.
Yeah, I like Ricky Gervais, and a lot of people don't like it. I
love him.
I was going to say he's close to the bone. He goes into the bone.
It's brilliant, man. I've seen him live twice.
Really?
I love him.
Yeah.
One of my favourites.
Yeah, so I've not seen him live yet.
Even his face makes me laugh. Like, even just like a facial expression that, The Office, because that was the first thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man, when he's talking and he just looks at the camera, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm crying. Just his face.
Well, one of the best ones he ever did was the podcast with Stephen Merchant and Carl Pilkington.
Yes.
That was like whatever. It was on a weekend night, and I used to stay up till like 3 o'clock in the morning watching that.
Yeah.
It'd be like 3 or 4, one after the other.
Yeah.
And I just lay on the sofa, absolutely crying.
That was amazing. The things they come out with.
What are you laughing at with this? It's not funny. Obviously it is.
I love it.
And that was just like what you do. It's you're laughing and joking about what's happening at that moment in time where you are, and that's the best bit.
Yeah, that's so good. I
know.
Ricky Gervais, man. Oh,
he's something else.
A lot of people will get, because he says it as well. Like, a lot of people get offended by what he says, but it's just a joke. Like, he doesn't mean what he said. Like, it's just to make you laugh.
Yeah.
If you get offended, just don't look at it. Don't watch that.
Don't listen. Yeah, exactly. See, the other one I used to listen to a lot in the 90s and early thousands was Eddie Izzard. I know a lot of people don't like him. Oh my God, his comedy, just the stuff how he come out with it. It wasn't so much what he said; it was how it said.
Yeah,
that makes a massive difference. I think it does anyway.
100%. That's like what I was saying when you're in that moment.
Yeah,
and you've got the audience. You can say pretty much anything, and they're going to laugh just because of the way how they're taking you, and how it's just there's something magical that happens in that moment.
Yeah.
Anything's funny. Just so I went to see Ricky Gervais. I think it was a couple of years ago, and it was being filmed for Netflix, and they had to take our phone away, and we had to lock out, which I hated. They took my phone off. What? But so me and the missus, we went and watched Ricky Gervais, and honestly, there was parts where no one else was laughing, and I was crying, and my missus is looking at me like, "You stop!" Like because I can be too much when I'm like gone. Like, I'm crying, I'm laughing so much. Like my dad used to say he used to like watching The Office with me, not because of The Office, just because of watching me laughing at it.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting there crying, like in hysterics.
Yeah. But it's just I've done that. I'm just sat laughing at something, and saying it's only me laughing, and I don't mean like just a little girly giggle. I'm full blown as loud as you can laugh. But it's so funny.
Yeah.
And it's always them little, not even a one-liner, it's just the sarcasm of it. I think it's that as well. That makes a massive difference to comedy.
Oh,
Because
for
people
sure.
sarcasm's the lowest form of wit, but it's also the funniest.
Yeah.
But it is, and it
Yeah,
truly is though,
for
because
sure.
it's just I just love laughing.
That's the best feeling. When you're gone and you're crying and you can't control it and you're laughing. It's the best feeling, man.
Yeah,
You can't beat it.
and that's why I was saying. That's why with the other show, I know we do it and it's serious, and people are talking about their encounters and experiences and how the research and everything they've done and how dedicated they are into what genre of it that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still have a laugh about it.
Yeah, of
But
course.
you don't have to be 100% robotic, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what it feels like. I'm waiting for him to ask me how many stairs can I see in the photograph. But some people are like that though,
Yeah,
and it's like just lighten up, just shift a little bit to the left or the right.
100%.
It'll be
It's
fine.
difficult because obviously we said we weren't going to talk about paranormal.
No,
but
not.
when we
Yeah,
do
it's got
paranormal
to.
show, it's normally like it's so their encounter so personal to the person. You don't
Yeah,
want to laugh.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm recording one later in about 2 hours from now. So I don't know. Even though I'm going to be talking about my encounters, I'm still going to be not joking about it, but be more light-hearted about it. I think because I've spoke about them so many times, it's why isn't everyone having these encounters? Why is it just me? When these other people do have these encounters, why is it so completely different to what I've had?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to joke about it. I think you've got to joke about it. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think you do. You've got to.
Yeah. I mean, it's life's difficult as it is, you know. So you got
Yeah.
to have a laugh, you know, and good vibes, good spirit, you know. That's
Yeah.
what gets you through.
But do you know what as well though? So when I get prepping for the podcast and that and live streams, I started meditating, just listen to specific music,
Mm-hmm.
sit back in the chair, just for half an hour, 20 minutes, and just get to that level. It stops me getting nervous. And then when it starts, it's like bang, straight into it. Rather than going, hiya, hello. Do you know what I mean? And since doing that, I might sound stupid to everyone, but I feel so much better in myself. Even when I wake up in the morning, stupid o'clock in the morning, got to get up and go to work, or I'm feeling like crap. I'm not in a bad mood. I might be not feeling it but I'm not angry with anyone or anything.
Yeah.
And I've not really had a bad day in 6 months. I've had crap happen. I'm not saying nothing's happened, but I've not had a bad day
That's good, man.
since I started meditating. But I
Interesting.
found a lot more things funny as well. I'm
Yeah.
No, let me rephrase that. I'm enjoying things a lot more than I was before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you get
That's
what I mean?
interesting. Yeah, for sure. 100%. And when you put yourself in that mindset that I'm going to be as positive as I can be,
Yeah.
like it's hard. We all have bad days where we wake up and we're like, oh, I feel like doing this. But you have to battle through that. And the more you tell yourself positive energy, and that's true. There's something about that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You put it out, you get it back. Like that's how I see it.
But it's like some days I'll be like, oh, I've got to do podcast, whatever time. It's like, oh, how do I get out of it? Because I've never bailed. I think I have once, but I was like, I was in bed and I could not move. I think that's the only time that I've done it. But even when I had my hernia up, I was saying I couldn't move, like Davros out of Doctor Who. Just moving about, I could not move. I was using hiking sticks to get around the house.
Oh wow!
So it took me 2 weeks to like get up and start walking about like a normal person. So cause it's like they went from one side across and put a big gauze inside and stapled it in 5 places. The corkscrew in, then they sort the hernias out and then put all this mesh and everything in.
Well, you had 2 hernias.
I had 2, both just above the belly button. So one, every time I coughed, it's like a golf ball was trying to come out my belly button. And then one just above it. So Yeah, I don't recommend it.
That's nasty.
No.
Oh,
So yeah, it's like I was off work for 5 weeks with that, but I still carried on doing the interviewing and that.
yeah,
It's like, but do you know when you're just not feeling it mentally, it's them days, and that's what I'm saying. Since meditating, I've not felt like that,
that's good, man. That's really good.
and I don't meditate every day now either. Whereas before I used to. I used to meditate every single time, but now it's probably because I'll do it even when I'm not prepping for the podcast. I'll just come up here and doing editing and that. And I'll sit and chill and just take 10 minutes, and then I'm right then for the next few days.
That's cool.
Highly recommended, but you need to find the right sort of sounds that you want to listen to.
Where do you go when you meditate? Is it just a moment of peace, or like what is?
This is gonna sound stupid. I just blank my mind like that. Even now I'm talking to you, I can blank my mind and not actually think of anything.
Okay.
But I kind of know what I'm going to say without knowing what I'm going to say. It contradicts itself for now. But I unless you do it, it's hard to understand.
It puts you in a relaxed state where you haven't got to worry about.
Yeah, so I just don't think of anything.
Yeah.
It's like now I'll just sit here, I'll just stare at the screen for 1 second. I'm not thinking of anything at all. There's no thoughts there. There's no sound. I'm not. Oh, well, what about this? What about that? What am I having for dinner tonight?
Yeah.
There's none of that. And once you learn to do that, then it becomes easier. And I literally just sit in this chair, sit back, put some music on. I used to listen to like binaural beats or isochronic tones. But sometimes it make you feel all a bit like seasick and all that, just because of you're supposed to have headphones on because you get different sounds in each ear. So it kind of like it can throw you out the first few times you listen to it. But now just listen to a specific type of music and just 10-15 minutes, done.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's such a good thing to do, man. I need to try. I do try.
Honestly, I highly recommend it. If you just try it.
So I find it very hard.
It'll take a while, but might take a couple of weeks if you're doing it like every other day. Like I said, 10 minutes, that's all you need.
Interesting.
But it might take you 10 minutes to get to that point the first couple of times you do it. It might take you longer. You might do it straight away, I don't know. Depends.
But it's cool you're noticing the benefits from it. Yeah. So I need to look. I find it very hard to switch off, like especially at night going to bed. You know, I go to bed at all random times.
Yeah.
My sleeping pattern is very messed up. But I find it very difficult to switch off. And I'll lay there, like, so tired, and I'll start thinking, like,
that's what I
amazing ideas.
Yeah. But that's what I used to do. And it's like now, I'll limit myself. So it's like, if I know what project I've got coming up, I'm like, right, I know what's happening. I'm not going to think about it until da-da-da. And that's it. So
that's good, man.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the comedy. So, what would be your ideal night if you was up on stage? Where would it be?
Oh, good question.
And who would be your warm-up act? You can choose anybody.
Anyone for my warm-up? Oh wow. Oh man. Okay. At the moment, I'm loving Joe Rogan. So I listen to Joe Rogan all the time, and I never used to really watch his stand-up that much until quite recently.
All right, okay.
And it's brilliant. Like, it's so good. And like, honestly, I was watching it a few weeks ago, and I was having a drink while watching it, and I laughed so much. I was having a drink, I spat my drink back into the cup. I was on my own, and I was like, "Oh, that's so weird that I've done that."
Oh my god!
But I think he's great. So
going back to paranormal, the first podcast I heard from him was one on paranormal.
Yeah,
he's done quite a few.
He talks a lot about
the
paranormal and aliens, and
because he does get involved a lot with that.
Yeah, I think that's how he sort of started as well. I'm sure he started with talking about.
I think it was
like UFOs and stuff like that, and he always goes back to it. And I find he's I don't always agree with everything he says, but you don't have to. You don't have to, yeah. But you know, because he doubts Bigfoot now, and I'm like, what? How can you doubt Bigfoot? Come on, man.
You know what I thought about that?
Has yours changed?
No, I don't doubt it, but I don't believe it's supernatural as such. I think it's a natural creature.
Yeah, that's
whether
cool.
it's from Earth or another planet and it's come here and it's been left here or it comes and goes. I don't believe that it's like some sort of interdimensional thing. Okay. I just think it can blend in. So when it goes behind the tree, either climbs up the tree, hides off, goes in tunnel, whatever.
Yeah.
And I believe it's like it just has abilities that we don't.
Yeah, a science that we don't understand yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's supernatural.
Interesting. Yeah, no, that's But you still know the big guys out there.
Still there. I still believe it's there. It's still a thing. I just don't think it's this elusive, majestical creature that we was led to believe it was at the very beginning.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So, but I only put that in because I've not seen you to speak to you to tell you about it.
Well, like you, our opinion can change. But my opinion changes daily with the paranormal.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
I mean, one day
I've stuck with that now for a couple of months, and it's going to take some convincing for me to change my mind on that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, venue.
So now, well, I'm talking. I'm absolutely loving Joe Rogan right now, which I am. But he's got a comedy club in Austin, Texas, called the Mothership. The Mothership, and it's like
see.
And I'm watching a lot of that at the moment, and it just it sounds really. I feel like they're, especially in the US at the moment. I know it's here as well in the UK, but they're saving comedy, in my opinion. Like they're going against the PC. You can't say this, you can't say that, and I feel like that they're winning, and it's coming back. So I feel like Joe Rogan and people like that have played a big part in that. So I'd love to go to the Mothership and do a gig there. Love to do that. LA, would love to go LA. Boston, New York. I'd love to go all around America.
The big venues,
Yeah.
All right, then next question, because we've only got a few minutes left. If you had to do like a comedy battle, who would you go up against?
Ooh.
Not whether you're going to win or not, doesn't matter. Who would be your ideal? You can't pick Joe Rogan.
I can't pick Joe Rogan. I'd like to go against Ricky Gervais.
Would you?
Yeah. I know he'd kill me. He would batter me. Because I know his beliefs and all that are very different to mine.
Yeah.
So we would have a battle, but it would be an honour.
Cool.
So Ricky Gervais, let's go.
Yes.
You
never know. You never know. Don't go anywhere when we finish this, because I have something to tell you.
Oh.
Quite exclusive, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
little teaser there.
I'll find out nearer the time. Nothing to do with the channel. Well, it might be something to do with the channel, but it might not. It's just
is Ricky Gervais coming on?
Nah, not that good. I might get Jerry Richards on.
Yeah, that's cool.
Don't even know who he is. It's been great having you on. Really
thank you, man. I've loved it. I always love talking to you, man. So
I know,
it's great. That's gone quick as well. I can't believe that's an hour.
Yeah, well, 56 minutes now, but with intro and outro, it's going to take it to an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Thomas Cullum, for coming on.
Appreciate it, man.
Pleasure as always. So this is episode 5, and it's called Stand Up or Go Home. It's going to go out on podcast, so if you are listening on the podcast, thank you so much. Please do subscribe, and if you do want to watch the visuals on this, you can watch it on YouTube. It's on my YouTube channel, Alienate UK, and this will go out on a Monday. I was going to do every other Monday, but I think it's going to be every Monday now, and you can do paid membership on there, because I've got on the Wednesdays and Fridays, that's why I have the paranormal ones going out, but more Fridays now than Wednesdays. But like I said, if you listen on podcasts, thank you so much, and please do keep supporting us, because the more I do this, the more support I get, the better the content. So thank you again, Thomas.
Thank you, sir.
I loved it. and we'll see you, or you'll see us, or hear us on episode 6. I have no idea who that's going to be yet. So take care, everyone, and speak to you soon. Ta-ra.